It's an incredibly hot and sunny day in Lekki, Lagos, Nigeria, and I am at Gartner Callaway. This is a hydroponics farm. My first visit to such a place, and I'm meeting today with Yomi Williams. He's the innovator of this fantastic space, and I'm going to take you with me and we're going to see some incredible stuff. So let's go. Yomi Williams' background is business administration, and it took 5 years to develop the concept for this farm in 2018. He has won the Entrepreneur Africa Award for Innovation and is looking to expand production to include fruits and a larger variety of vegetables. I'm so used to sort of the traditional method of farming that for me, this is something that I just can't even wrap my head around. So I know I'm going to have a million questions for you. Okay. I could recognize what we were standing in front of right away. Right now, where we're standing, I can see some things that are familiar to me and some things that maybe aren't. If I'm right, this is dill.
Yes, that's correct.
And that's a beautiful herb. I've used this in the kitchen before to cook fish. It has that lovely distinctive, dill smell. And what do we have over here? This is
kale.
Kale.
But these are some plants that are almost reached the end of their life cycle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, is it something that I can eat raw?
I guess so, yes.
Really? I want to taste everything. Let's just see what we're dealing with here. I know this is very healthy, new age stuff.
Yes, it
If
is.
you eat kale, it's supposed to be cancer fighting and
Precisely.
body cleansing. Here goes. Cheers. Although you don't have your feet. Everything here just tastes so fresh, smells so fresh. This is good. You can eat everything right down to the stalk. I love this.
Because of the way we grow.
Fantastic.
Which is all organic.
I love that. So organic meaning that we don't have any like fertilizers in the sense of...
Yeah, precisely. We don't use any fertilizers. We only use organic inputs. So compost, hydroponic nutrients, the kind of soil mix that we use, the composition of our soil mix as well. So all that, we try to use clean organic materials.
I love that. And that's the green way to go these days.
Even our water, because we have a reverse osmosis filter that filters the water. So the water we feed the plants are also very clean.
So now you're talking very scientifically here, and scientist I am not, so I'm gonna start from the word hydroponics. The actual word hydroponic comes from the Greek translation, which means literally water toil. It's a technique for growing plants without soil, and in some cases without natural sunlight. And it's becoming just another conventional way of producing food for our modern populations. Okay, Yomi, so I'm ready to have my tour. I'm especially interested in getting into the sort of white hydroponic city that you have in front of us. Okay. So lead the way. All these stacked planters are really something new to behold. When I was in school, of course, learning science, we were told that, soil is what you grow plants in, and this is what is in soil, and it's the optimal condition for, what's that word? Photosynthesis to happen. Yeah. But this just blows it, out of the textbook, and we're sort of in, the real future here of farming.
Yeah.
So tell me, how does this actually work? Okay. The basics.
So basically, hydroponics means either growing without soil or with acceptable hydroponic grow mediums, which we call them substrates. So substrates are like replacements for your traditional type of soil.
Right.
Which is like topsoil.
So for the layperson, because I know that there's a lot of scientific terms that are going to come into this, well, let's try and break it down as simply as we can. And tell me, what kind of medium are you using here for growing your beautiful vegetables?
We use a mixture of cocoa coir.
Cocoa coir. Is that something to do with cocoa, or is it to do with...
It's made from coconut.
Coconuts!
So we have a mixture of the cocoa pith and the cocoa chip.
Right, so if I had a coconut, what part of that would I be talking about?
That would be the skin of the shell of the
The
coconut.
shell of the coconut. So let's look at cocoa coir, the growing medium used here. Here's a coconut, a fresh one, like I'm drinking from. And here's a dry one. See the fibers around the outside? Well, these and the coir grains extracted from processed decomposed hard shell are mixed together to form cocoa coir. They're used in pellet or cake form and also as a mulch, as you can see here. Okay, I see we've got some beautiful babies growing here. Is this lettuce?
Yes, that's lettuce.
And what we have here is the cocoa coir.
Yes.
So this lighter stuff that I have here is actually a bit of coconut husk kind of thing?
No, the yellow one, that's rice husk.
Ah!
So rice husk, it's another acceptable hydroponic medium. So sometimes we mix it to give it a bit more, give the soil more aeration.
Okay.
So that more oxygen gets to the roots.
I see. And space efficiency is important here. Everything is stacked. Is that normal for hydroponics, for things to be stacked like this?
Well, it depends on the hydroponic system, but we're using a high density vertical system.
Oh, wow.
So that means basically growing vertical so that we can get more out of the space that we're using to grow.
Incredible.
And especially being that this is an urban farm in the city.
Right.
So the space efficiency becomes absolutely critical.
And I saw your sign that said, "Find your farm in the city." I love that. That's amazing.
That's our slogan.
That's your slogan. I'm going to remember that. Find your farm in the city. I love it. I love it. Yomi has beautiful varieties of herbs growing here. Amongst them are 2 types of basil, parsley, kale, mint, thyme, and spinach. I'm just taken by how much there is here. And these lettuce plants have grown much larger than the other ones. Are these mature now? These ones we're seeing?
No, these aren't fully mature, but you could harvest them at this size.
You could.
It just depends. Some people like them like baby lettuce, and some people like them fully mature.
Can I taste one of these? You know, I'm picking everything. So I've had a taste of the
This is called
kale.
Magenta.
Magenta. Oh, is that because it's got like this little red magenta color in it?
That's just the variety.
Just the name?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a warm weather variety.
I'm going to have a taste of this one right now and see how it is. It's so beautifully clean. And I think that's a wonderful quality that this presents.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even feel like I've got to wash this, so I'm going to stuff this in my big mouth.
I guess I'll try you and have a little one too.
It has a really nice, almost slightly bitter edge to it, but divine. I'm going to have to take some of this with me today and make an amazing salad. It's nice. I love that. Crunchy and delicious. And clean. There's not like a little tiny speck of dirt on it. And another thing I've noticed, no bugs. The plants start their lives in the nursery, growing in cute little pots of cocoa coir, tended to lovingly by expert garden hands. When they get to a certain height, they're transplanted into the white stacked plastic pot system, or into porous felt grow bags, which can be moved from place to place. But it's the irrigation system which I found quite interesting and wanted to learn much more about.
This system irrigates from the top. It flows through, this is called like a diffuser dish.
I see.
So
okay, diffuse meaning like spread it out.
Yes.
Right.
So all the water goes in here and spreads through the diffuser dish through the pots. Now each of the pots have holes underneath. So as this fills, it flows into the next pot, flows into the next pot, into the next pot. Then because of the water absorption qualities and the fast rate of the coconut coir, it sucks up all the moisture, the water and nutrients to every inch of the pot. So every inch of the pot becomes hydrated.
So these pots are made of plastic.
Plastic.
And they're white.
Yes.
So I know that.
But they're coated with a special UV coating
So
to protect them.
Is it attracting light? Because I know darker things attract.
Oh no, it
more
doesn't
light.
attract the light.
Oh really?
No.
Okay.
So the excess flows down here. This is called a drain dish.
Right.
Then it drains, it recirculates back into our irrigation room.
Okay, so you have like a circular system.
Precisely.
Here, so you're making the best use of the water. You're not losing as much water as you would.
We're not even losing anything,
Any
to be
water.
honest. Yeah. We find that the plants respond to the environment.
Of course, they're living things.
So it's like a newborn baby.
Oh.
If you give it all the best food, it grows healthy.
Love
so
and care.
Exactly the
You
same
know,
thing with the
plants
plants.
feel.
They do.
My grandmother, God rest her beautiful soul, she had plants in her house. And she lived to the ripe old age of 94. And she cared so much for those plants. And when she passed on, even though the plants were being fed and taken care of by relatives, those plants didn't make it, they died. So there's obviously something to do with that connection, that human connection.
I agree.
And care, the proper care. I think happy plants make happy food.
It's true, like sometimes when somebody else plants something, it might take maybe a week and a half for it to germinate. But when I do it, because of the special care and the way I plant, they'll germinate in 4 days.
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
The whole area is covered by a silver shade cloth called Illuminate. Its protective qualities include reflecting away harmful radiation and glare, as well as keeping the harsh temperatures down. But why do we need this type of space-age production technique? What's wrong with the good old farm? Well, with urban space becoming less green and living in a world which demands immediate response, gardens like these start to make sense, and you might see them springing up in your neighborhood soon too. I have found a new space, a lovely green food space, and I'm inspired, and I'm going to spend some time thinking about how I will use some of these wonderful herbs in their freshest state. The Hydroponic Center was such a treat. All those beautiful herbs to choose from. Ready to see what I'm going to do with some of them? Good.
Hi everybody, I'm back here again in the kitchen, and this time I'm going to be using some of those amazing herbs that I got from the hydroponic farm when I visited. It took me a while to think about what I'd make exactly, but then I thought, I've cracked it, pizza. And everyone's been asking me to make pizza on the show, so here we go.
Making pizza dough is as easy as saying pizza. All you need is some dry instant yeast, salt, and flour. I'm using all-purpose, and that's okay. Also some olive oil, some lukewarm water, and a big bowl.
Okay, everybody with me? Let's start with the dough. So I've got here some all-purpose flour. I'm making one big pizza, so we're gonna go for about 2.5 cups to 3. Let's just say to play it safe.
Add a good tablespoon of the dry yeast and a generous pinch of salt. I'm rubbing off some of these beautiful little fresh thyme leaves into the flour for flavor. You need to remove the stems. And mix it all together. In goes a splash of olive oil. And a little of the lukewarm water.